and I call it out, does that mean that because of the fact that it's a black man, I shouldn't call it out or shouldn't say anything or shouldn't say the harm that they're causing? No, it's even more reason for me to do so. Not all skin folk is kinfolk, and you just need to be able to call that out. And if you're told that you can't call out the fact that not all kinfolk is kinfolk, not all skinfolk is kinfolk, then you don't have a conversation to have with anybody. It's holding accountability across the board. The board doesn't stop with particular groups. It's just, if your board stops with particular groups, then you're halting your own progression, because there are women who support patriarchy.
Exactly. So the principle of the matter for me in this situation that didn't need to happen. I'd love to maybe readdress it, but in this very moment in real time, the principle is if you come in being passive aggressive, I'm going to respond to passive aggressiveness. Even though I understand where somebody else could look at in layered ways, and maybe they're right, and maybe it's happenstance. You just happened to be XYZ. And I understand that that's something I will always have to look at. Is my response possibly based in XYZ? I have to look at that. Absolutely. That's always going to be a part of deconstruction. And it's also, you came up here being passive aggressive and insulting and dictating to me what I need to do with my panel, my prompt, my mods. I'm going to address that. And if it's uncomfortable for you to hear me say, I don't give a fuck whose mouth it comes from, that is a you issue, because I stand by it. This is my life, how I run things, and I will take constructive criticism only. And I can differentiate between constructive criticism and those who are looking to be combative, those who are looking to be insulting. I'm well versed in that. Well versed.
Amanda is in the request. Do we want her back up here? Does anybody want to drop for her to come back up here?
LB, are you good? LB, are you good?
Yeah, I'm okay. I've been sick for like 2 weeks. I have a migraine, and this has just been
exacerbating it.
Yeah, because it's something else happened in the comments, and it's just I'm feeling a migraine really getting hard, and I'm feeling nauseous. I think I'm just gonna drop.
I'll drop you, friend. It's no problem.
Can I check in on you? Can I check in on you a little bit later?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right. Love you, LB.
So just a friendly reminder of I do have a hard stop in about 25 minutes, just as a reminder. Discord. What, honey? What?
I need you to go look at Discord.
Yeah, I will. But Dragon Love... Okay, I will do that. Dragon, you were up here first, love. And again, time constraints, so I want to give you an opportunity to talk.
Real quick, Amanda, I need you to understand something. Val, I have watched Val for a very long time, and I am not saying this because I'm her friend and I adore her. I am saying this because as a older person, I have learned to judge people by their actions, not the categories that the world puts us in. And this is a person whom I have found is very diligent, very um, very methodical on how they choose to layer themselves with mods. And at the end of the day, I've never seen them mod someone for no good reason or just because they're a friendly. Each person that's modded is modded because they have shown true character and true value as a human being. And I don't know if it is you, Val, but didn't you have a whole ass prompt about not trusting people based on the proximity of group category they're in, but by the character of themselves?
Yeah, I mean, and And make no mistake, those things are very important, right? And there's times that those things absolutely unequivocally are part of the conversation. 1,000%. Also, I don't support all of any. And I cannot be more clear with that. I will not default to anything or anyone, because if something is wrong, it's wrong all the time. So I support principle, not people. So when you come in here being what I perceive as insulting, combative, and passive aggressive, it's wrong all the time, Amanda.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure when I said that you should support all women. I didn't say that.
No, what you had said was that I interrupted a black woman and that I need to deconstruct that as a white person. Now, in principle, I understand where that comes from. In practice, in this moment, that's not the case.
I
That was
understand.
happenstance.
I know June. I follow June, and so I guess I was just taken aback at how she was treated.
She was treated,
well.
right,
It,
and
it,
she was treated with the same energy that I would give anybody. You could be my sister, family member. I could share blood with you. I don't care. I never have, never will. If I'm against the principle, I'm against it all the time by anyone. And I'm not trying to be abrasive. And I'm not also here saying my train of thought is the only train of thought or the correct train of thought. I'm simply communicating who I am as a person.
Okay. I didn't think her points. I didn't think her points were necessarily invalid either, though. Is the thing. Like, I think the general point that she was getting at is that men are dangerous across the board, and
Sure, but we couldn't get there.
We shouldn't
But we couldn't even
necessarily
get there.
be shocked. We shouldn't necessarily be shocked and flabbergasted when their masks slip.
And
No,
also,
because-
and I never. Hold on,
Can I
everybody.
speak for 2 seconds.
Give me 1 second, Georgia.
Not you, Val. The guys were talking. Sorry.
Yeah. So give
Oh,
me
you're
1
good.
second.
I'm sorry.
And I don't necessarily disagree with that. That's the thing. But we can't even get to those conversations to have common ground and see where we do agree, because there are some things that Juneteenth said that I don't inherently disagree with. The execution of it, though, is what put the conversation dead in the water. And I don't think that's even unique to me. Let's be honest. We're all humans here. I don't know anybody who gets backed into a corner and feels like their claw has to come out and a constructive conversation is going to happen. Let's be honest. That's just the rules of engagement, right? That's communication styles. I don't think that's unique to me. I truly don't. I think anybody who is perceived as somebody who's being aggressive toward them, they're going to be able to have a constructive conversation, because it is very natural human response to say, whoa, wait a minute, right? I don't think that's unique to me, is my point.
I get you were put on your back foot. I understand. And I'm not, and I'm also like not. I am not here to like argue, actually, or to force you to try to force you to change your opinions or how you run your panel at all. I literally just want to have conversations with women. I think that having a discussion, like Emperor brought up some really great points about why modding men are dangerous, but that's not even the conversation I necessarily want to have. I just want to have like any conversation. I'm not here to argue. I do understand your perspective. I just also I got muted in the comments, and I figured if you're going to talk to me, you might want to talk to my face.
I got to be honest with you, Amanda. Something also anybody can tell you. I don't always pay attention to the comments, so I may not know that you've said anything or been muted. And in fact, I'm actually making my bed, so I'm really not paying attention. Just for information purposes.
No, I figured you didn't know that I was muted there, but that's why I wanted to come back up, because I do want to have a conversation. I don't want to argue, and that's all.
No, and I think something you said is hopefully where you and I can find some common ground, is about not coming up and telling somebody else how to run their lives. And that's what was happening. And that actually, had that part been taken out, I think it would have been a lot more constructive, and we would have been able to focus on the real issue for sure.
And also, me putting up this screenshot was not at Juneteenth at all. This is a mutual that we had up until recently that we just found out about all of this and more. If you look at Discord, I found another video. And this was just to prove that you don't support all women, because this is not okay. And that's what I was trying to get at. This was not supposed to be taken as a dig towards Juneteenth in any way, shape, or form. So if that's how that was taken, my apologies to the highest degree. I just wanted to show a point of why I don't support all women, because this is not okay at all to me.
And you don't get to decide in my live with my mods what is and is not relevant to the conversation. You can have an opinion about it, sure, but you don't get to decide.
I think it's
other people wanted to talk.
I think it's inherently dangerous to say like things or preface things with, I don't know what this is about, but also let me give you my opinion on the situation. Before we like start giving our opinion on things, I think that we should like get an understanding. And a lot of the times we would get that understanding with just simply asking questions. The thing that I love June. I stand June. June reads motherfuckers to filth. I love seeing that shit.
I probably
But at the
would
same
enjoy
time,
it.
in this particular instance, June was completely off base. Like, just honestly, she was. We were not coddling him. We were allowing for him to expose himself. I don't particularly like Jag, to be honest with you. I've never really been a fan of the guy. But at the same time, I can't say like, you know, I always felt that it was this kind of thing over here where he was, that would be absurd for me to make that assertion. But in this particular situation, June was off base. She did not know what was going on. She did not know the relationship between us and Jag, or more importantly, Val with Jag being at Val's space that Jag was modding in. She didn't know. So to just like assign like coddling with trying to get an understanding of where this person is, I don't think that she was like within her bounds to make those kinds of assertions.
And to double down on it, like I understand that we are defending a friend. If I'm in the space and I see a friend of mine getting what I feel is wrongly accused, I'm going to come off and be like, hey, yo, who the fuck is you talking to? That is my immediate response. I'm very protective of my friends. That's probably one of the reasons why they modded me on this page, is because of the fact I'm very protective of my friends and very protective of people, period. I hold high regard people's well-being over mine sometimes, because I can get called all types of words and it don't bother me, but I know not everybody has my thick skin, so I'm going to make sure that everybody doesn't get offended. So if I see somebody in the comment section be like, you blah, 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 mute. To me, it may not mean shit, but to somebody up here, you could have ruined their day. I'm going to protect the space. I'm going to protect the people. And so when you came up here, you know, rah-rahing for June, we dig it. But none of us is knocking you for it, because we understand friendship. We understand that we want to make sure that everyone's heard. We understand that we're protecting everybody. We also understand that sometimes you just can't come out of turn and say things without understanding how things were done or moved in the first place.
Right. And I respect that. And my knee-jerk reaction was to come up and